So, it's funny because I was just talking I did the Virgo reading right before yours. And I mentioned differences between the way Virgos communicate and the way Geminis communicate. And then your reading is right after. So, having said that, if you have any planets in Virgos, or if you're dealing with the Virgos, watch the Virgo reading, okay? I hope that it can also give you additional guidance in addition to this. So, I have two ways in which the reading is going to pan out. And one of the first things that I want to really relay to you here is they mention at what cause. You know, what is the objective here? What is the end goal here? At what cause? And you know, like I feel, first of all, so this is what I'm sensing. I feel like you have two choices that you need to make. And I feel that a big part of you is wondering, like, I need to, you know, speak my truth. I need to state my case. And I need to be very clear about what I'm trying to communicate and to make sure to drill it in to the other person, what I'm trying to get at here. And so in this situation, I feel that if you approach it from a spirit of mutual understanding, from the standpoint that from the standpoint where you really, really strongly identify with what you have to say, but at the same time leaving room for negotiation so that the other side, the other party can also explain from their standpoint where you're coming from. So approaching it in a very non-confrontational way so that you can allow, you know, discourse, mutual understanding. That's going to go so great in your favor. And when you do that, it basically shows a lot of, you know, personal strength, strength of character, leadership capabilities. Because on the one hand, you identify vehemently with a specific, you know, way of thinking. But on the other hand, you are open-minded enough to come to an agreement with somebody that might be very different from you, and allowing them a voice, giving them an opportunity to state their case, makes you look really good, makes you stand out as somebody who is open-minded, as somebody who is not afraid of dissent, as somebody who really knows how to control, manage, and, you know, lead others. And so I feel that the more open-minded you are, the more success will be coming through for you, not just this month, but I feel in life overall. And the other path that we have here is, this is us living in a bubble. This is us with a specific agenda, wanting to basically, we have ideas, right? And we want to implement our ideas in the world. And you might have some people, detractors, telling you, wait a minute, that's not, you know, going to pan out. Or wait a minute, you really need to re-examine this. But you're so closely, like you identify so strongly with your ideas, and you identify so strongly with these projects, and you've invested so much time in, that you can't really accept the people telling you otherwise. And so there's a very singular, like almost tunnel vision way of looking at situation where we feel like failure, we're exempt from failure. We feel like we have so much power and we have so much control. Nothing's going to go wrong. So all of these people that might be, you know, that might be like trying to, you know, tell you to reevaluate, trying to tell you of an alternative course of action. You feel like they're trying to hold you back. You feel like they're jealous. You feel like they're, for whatever reason, insecure because they are afraid of your success. But I feel that, you know, success, and this is what I mean by, you know, energetically, it has been a very difficult year on a global scale. And I keep going back to this one quote that, it's a Martin Luther King Jr. quote. It's basically about injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. There's this sense here that we are all connected, okay? That one person's decision reverberates and can really negatively or positively affect another person. And so decisions are not made in a vacuum. We don't live on an island. We're not like living in a bubble insulated from the rest of humanity. And so from your vantage point, and it's funny because with the Virgo card, they had the Hermit and they had a very, very high vantage point. From your vantage point, you can still, you're still very much at the water level. Okay. And water to me deals with, just emotions, things that we're emotionally invested in, that we feel we have to move forward with, that we feel we have to do a specific thing a specific way because we're so emotionally invested in it. And when we're so emotionally invested in something, we might not see the pitfalls. Try as we may, it might be really difficult for us to see any other way of doing. Okay, so I would just advise you, advice, counsel that's coming through, people that might be telling you to, slow down. I feel that they're looking out for the bigger picture. They're looking out for something bigger than ourselves. And so it's important to heed the warning signs, heed the advice coming through from people around you, because that being able to, despite how you feel, despite how you think, despite what you believe in, being able to see both sides of the story is what makes a really, really good, well-rounded person. And also like making decision from this standpoint where you take into account the greater good, that makes a very, very good leader. Okay. You have some very, very strong success coming through, but the way you handle it and the way you navigate the energies of other people is going to make or break this success. So I feel that it's really important here for us to, take stock this year and especially this month to figure out where we want to be and figure out the person that we want to be. Do we want to be, like a high-minded, moralistic type of person? Do we want to cater to, people that are on our team, people that are, that know how to, I guess, like, people that, do we want to just hang out with people that are exactly like us? Or are we able to open up for greater discussions? Are we able to be around people that might not agree with us? So, I feel like, lack of agreement is not always a bad thing. It allows us to see things from a different perspective, and it allows us to learn from others that might have a different, experience growing up, a different like life trajectory even. So that's also very important. Okay, we're not in a bubble. We don't live for ourselves. We need to make decisions based on, the greater good. Okay, maintaining harmony, I feel, is important. Maintaining harmony. And I feel that, steering people away from conflict and ill will and separation and things like that, that's in the greater good, okay? So it feels to me like you can't have it all. That's what it feels like. It seems like wherever you moved for work to strengthen your relationship, wherever you move to, to be with a relationship partner, the work that you want or the types of career or the types of, tasks that you want to do wasn't available in that environment. And then likewise, whenever you were called away whenever you landed a job or whenever you had to do something, right? It took you far away from your love relationships. So I feel like it was this constant struggle of trying to balance the two, managing your time so that you can juggle work responsibilities as well as the responsibilities of a relationship, for example. And then some of you might have felt like you had to end relationships because the work that you did took you far away from that relationship partner. And your drive, your personal ambition, it was always going to be work first, like work first, play later. So I feel like you didn't prioritize the relationship. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I feel that geographically, it took you far away, okay? And so you might have ended up doing like long distance relationships and then finding out that you and your partner drifted away because, I feel like with air signs, it's easy for air signs to do long distance relationship because you're not as emotionally attached. But at the same time, if it drags on for too long, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. So your partner, it I feel like it does, of course, it does take its toll on you because, it's emotionally taxing to do a long distance relationship. And I feel that over time, you both like drifted apart, mainly because you weren't able to be together to share, these major milestones. They weren't with you, you weren't with them when you both were growing and progressing. And so it drove the relationship apart, okay? It drove the two people apart. And so I feel like that has been happening for you guys for the past 3 years. And I also feel like, getting involved with people in your work environment, that might have also happened where it really hurt your professional image or it really hurt your credibility. So be careful about that. But I feel like there was some tragedy here surrounding love. And having said that, I feel like what's coming in for many of you is a new love relationship. And I feel some of you are already in it. Some of you are still like doing it long distance and hoping that it's going to work out. So I feel like there is a relationship that some of you are in right now that is really enhancing your life, okay? They say that it's replenishing your life force. So I feel like you might be with somebody who's very wise, or you might be with somebody who's very spiritual. So they replenish you like heart, body, and soul. I feel like you're getting a lot of guidance from this person in terms of what you should do, what you should not do, because they seem to me to be old and wise. So they could be like physically, biologically older than you, or they could just be a very old soul. And they've been through a lot of hardships in their life, and they're showing you how to be diligent, how to work hard, how to persevere. And I feel like you feel very inspired by this person. And then likewise, I feel like some of you are still cycling through like, dealing with exes. And I have here a water sign, X, okay? So a Pisces, a Cancer, or a Scorpio, and I feel like Piscean energy coming in quite strong. And I feel that, this is something that you emotionally, you're not bound to it anymore, but you like the way that the person makes you feel, like they're very central. And the experience, the courtship, the whole dating experience, it just felt very surreal. It just felt like a little bit magical and a little bit surreal. But what you have right now is so much more, it has so much more depth. It has so much more potential than that relationship in the past, okay? So I feel that a lot of you are spending time cultivating a relationship, learning a lot about yourself, learning how to, I guess, be patient when dealing with other people, learning as well that while you are at your best in a relationship, you are also able to learn to be on your own, learn to take care of practical responsibilities, and learn about a lot more about yourself. Okay, so like more about your inner strengths, your weaknesses, how to work to improve your weaknesses, and how to fortify your strength. Okay, your assets. So I feel like a major growth spurt is happening for many of you. And I also feel some of you are doing research as well, like I'm seeing like, experiments. I'm seeing like trial runs. Seeing like biomedical research, like in the medical profession, in scientific kind of like in scientific endeavors, trying to implement some type of breakthrough. You might have a partner that you're working with, and the both of you are so different that you're learning a lot from each other. So I feel like the next 2 weeks will be greatly about collaboration, okay? About learning, collaborating, expanding your mind, expanding your consciousness, and having very strong epiphanies and breakthroughs, okay? Like those breakthrough moments.